as the eyes of the CCAC soccer world descend upon the Viterbo Outdoor Athletic Complex in La Crosse, Wisconsin, here for this monumental match between the three-seeded St. Xavier Cougars as they take on the Viterbo V-Hawks here this afternoon. The semifinals with a spot for a title on the line, spot for a chance for a title on the line here this afternoon. I'm Cooper Lipsky. Glad you could join us here on the V-Hawk Sports Network. Let's take a look at the starting 11 for this match. For Ed Vucinic's side, making no changes from the midweek clash against Trinity Christian, as we Daniel Martinez in goal with Diaz and Cardiel the back line. Midfield of Vitali, Hull, Diaz, Breslin, Espinoza, Lagunas, Aparicio, and Camacho with Aguilera up front. For Roberto Yepes' side, it'll be Costas Tashide in net for his second straight match, as Peter Caleno, the number one goalkeeper, out with a red card picked up in the last few matches of the season. And you get Stewart, Perot, Holstein, and Torres back line with a midfield of Ketsuk, Acosta, and Puertas. And then up front, Joaquin Eichhorn coming off of his best match in a V-Hawk uniform. A hat trick for him. He'll be back up front with Paquette Oliveira and Ronmel Alfaro up front. St. Xavier entering with 3 wins in their last 5, only slowing down at the end of the regular season after solidifying their spot as the 3 seed. As for Viterbo, they enter with 3 wins themselves in their last 5, and a big match won against Governor State in a 4-2 finish right here at home. St. Xavier this season 6-1-1 on the road, almost untouchable when making the trip anywhere outside of campus. As for Viterbo, nearly a perfect here at the Outdoor Athletic Complex since the quarterfinal match against Olivet Nazarene last season, a perfect 6-0 in that regard. But as we stated, a spot for a chance at the conference final. It'll be the first time Viterbo looks to ever secure a spot in the CCAC tournament final, having lost in their first 2 seasons in the CCAC, 2023 and 2024, both quarterfinal losses to Olivet Nazarene. As for St. Xavier, 6 straight quarterfinal losses leading up to this season before getting that big 4-3 victory over the Trinity Christian Trolls, and what turns out to be Trinity Christian's final match ever on the men's side. They finally get over the hump. Their last semifinal appearance in 2018. The last time they won was in 2015 before losing in the final. But they got to get there. 90 minutes to determine a victory here this afternoon. A cold and cloudy 42 degrees with a wind heading southwest at about 6 miles per hour. So it feels like 37. And looking at the temperature and the weather throughout the week, they said there was a chance of snow, so we'll see if that plays a factor here in this one this afternoon. But as big as a crowd as we've seen here at the Outdoor Athletic Complex all season long, no match bigger than this one here on this Saturday afternoon. A chance for the final upcoming on Wednesday. If Judson defeats Olivet Nazarene, one of these 2 teams would host that final. But if one of these 2 teams win and Olivet Nazarene with the 1 seed, meaning they'll have to hit the road. Viterbo in the home white kits, moving left to right on your screen. As for St. Xavier, right to left in the scarlet kits. Scarlet kits. This one kicked away. We're already off and running here from the Viterbo Outdoor Athletic Complex. The semifinal round here this afternoon. Costas Tashide in goal for the second consecutive match. Had it pretty easy there in the regular season with Peter Caleno being the number 1 goalkeeper, facing a lot of the conference matches. Already tested a little bit up front. That one cleared away, and he'll be out of play on the far side. As there was Saul Camacho, the 5th-year midfielder from Summit, Illinois. There's already a lot of noise being made on that far sideline. Both teams trying to get the upper hand here in the first few minutes of the match. This one sent over the top. Ronmel Alfaro, the closest man to it, and Daniel Martinez, a 6-time conference defensive player of the week this year, at least 5 times. Won it 3 consecutive weeks in the middle part of the season. This one lofted over top, looking for Eichhorn as Martinez able to get onto it. Martinez did not feature very long in their first go-around this season. He picked up a red card in the first 15 minutes of the match, and that called upon Osvaldo Ramirez to do the goalkeeping duties in that match. Viterbo would come from behind to win 2-1 on the road in St. Xavier. At St. Xavier's Place, I should say. Down there, Chicagoland area. This one cleared out of play. We say 90 minutes to determine a victor, but for St. Xavier in their quarterfinal match against Trinity Christian, it took 2 overtimes, a total of 120 minutes to decide a victor. They went down early, trailed 2-0 for marching back and drawing even right before the end of the first half, and then a pair of goals, one from either side in the second half, would warrant a overtime. And then in the end, it was Omar Aparicio with a goal in the 107th minute to put his side in front and get the victory in that one. A little head collision, I believe, for Andrei Ketsuk, so we'll go to the sideline to get checked out for the moment. Ed Vucinic in his 22nd season as the lead manager of the St. Xavier side. Had his best success in 2010 and 2011, winning the conference tournament title in consecutive seasons. Since then, just trying to get back over the hump. Best opportunity here for them this afternoon. For Viterbo, treading in land unknown. Never made it this far in the CCAC conference tournament. Much to the help of Joaquin Eichhorn in that last match. 3 second-half goals, 2 of them from the penalty spot, and 1 incredible chip from outside the box to put his side in front. Only a second ever hat trick to secure that victory, and he has turned it on late here in the 2025 season. So here's Acosta trying to work around the defense. Can't quite get it through Breslin. And now Breslin will do the throw on. Aiden Breslin, junior out of Crestwood, Illinois. Previously played at Western Illinois. But as Viterbo, in their quarterfinal matchup, took on a team they had never beaten before. St. Xavier, much in the same boat as Viterbo in that sense. They've never beaten Viterbo. Three wins, no losses, 2 draws all time against the St. Xavier side for Viterbo. Numbers in their favor, of course, being the 2 seed, being able to host here in this match. Ball thrown in, trying to pick out Eichhorn on the far side. Diaz in defense. Eichhorn goes down and a foul call. About 41 minutes, 28 seconds left to play here in the opening half. 0-0 between the 2 sides. Both getting settled in this one. Will be a throw-in from, or a spot kick, my apologies. Sebastian Acosta over to it, the leading assister on this Viterbo side with 9 this year. His last assist against Governor State, a corner that Ted Holstein converted to draw even 1-1 in that match. He'll loft this one into the box. Comes in, headed away. Ball remains loose. Outside the box. Acosta going to shoot. Deflected outside. All the way back to Ronmel Alfaro. A lot of bodies piled up. They'll send it back to Torres, who looks on the far side to Ethan Stewart. Lays it on here on the far side to Johan Hamstrom. Ball played all the way back here to another Scandinavian, and Ted Holstein. He's tripped up, foul called. As Saul Camacho clipped him on his back heel there. Johan Hamstrom already on for Andre Ketsut, picking up a knock early on as this one sent to the near sideline. Chasing it over to it is Aguilera. Leading goal scorer on this St. Xavier side. Usually dons the number 7, but in the red kits, he'll wear the number 35 here this afternoon. Only 3 changes for both sides since the last time these two teams met. Earlier in the season, back on September 24th. Change of scenery, change of pressure, I would say. Viterbo got down early in their quarterfinal match, as well as St. Xavier. As we mentioned, both teams would storm back to collect themselves the win to move on to face each other here. Ball sent forward to Paquette Oliveira. Tries to look to the near sideline. Dishes it over the top to Ronmel Alfaro. Inside the box. Lays it forward. Shot by Acosta. Deflected. Comes right back to him. Chips it up in the air. Waits for it to come back down. A great save by Martinez in goal. Top 5 in just about every category defensively in goal for Daniel Martinez. Certainly be on his way to potentially, I would say, picking up conference honors this year as a best defensive player. The Defensive Player of the Week honors that he's received would surely help in that metric, as a foul called on right down here in the near corner. But he's going to be the one to watch in goal. Already one great save for him to start. As Yael Diaz to punt this one away on his left foot. Skies it to the near sideline, drifts out of bounds. Now the flag goes up. It'll be a throw-in. Torres is sending this deep down the near sideline. Comes out of play, and another throw-in will be won. Ball tossed in. Back to Portis. Now to Torres. Tries to cross one in. Eichhorn able to get a head on it, but can't steer it in direction of goal. This one pulled wide left. A couple of big opportunities here already for Viterbo in this one. Haven't necessarily seen the St. Xavier offense. Of course, only about 9 minutes here into the opening half. But a side that plays very well on the road and against a side that's almost unbeatable at home. Their one loss coming to a Division II school in Upper Iowa. Is on the turn here, pushing forward with it as Espinoza tries to lay it to the far side. Tries to dish it forward. No foul. Now a foul is called. Dangerous spot here for St. Xavier. Last time these two played, Jaden Aguilera with a free kick from 52 yards out to put them in front early on in that match. Standing over the ball this time, Saul Lagunas, junior from Midlothian, Illinois. First real test for Tashide in goal here in this one. Cougars trying to jump out in front. Lagunas with a low strike, rolls into the midst of Costas Tashide in goal. Tashide, a freshman goalkeeper from Stockholm, Sweden, and got off to a little bit of a rough start, I'd say, in that Governor State match. But then really settled himself down with the help of his offense. Really kept the ball out of their defensive end in that second half, and not easy. Ball thrown in and a foul called. Ted Holstein going down. Of course, the other match, Judson and Olivet Nazarene, this afternoon begins at 3 o'clock. So when this one's just about over, that one will begin. So we will not know who will play where by the time this one is over. If Olivet Nazarene wins, they'll host. If Judson wins, one of these teams will host as Ronmel Alfaro crashes into Martinez. Martinez down for the moment. Ronmel Alfaro always causing a lot of havoc up front when he's up there. Won a penalty in that last match. Martinez down, not the sight you like to see, a man as talented as him. So Daniel Martinez down in goal after a collision with Ronmel Alfaro. About 34 minutes, 21 seconds left to play here in the first half. He's up. Looks like he's all right. Sigh of relief for the St. Xavier side. He'll get play back underway, sending this ball long into the Viterbo defensive half. Punt forward, deflected back, a header going to the near side. Fine with it and taken down. Mateo Torres is Vitaly Hull. Hull, a junior out of Ternopil, Ukraine. Played all 107 minutes in that match. Played a majority, 107 minutes. Collision of the feet. Ball comes loose here. Trying to pass it out wide. Trying to turn it in. Deflect. It'll be out for the first corner. As Saul Camacho able to win it. Making his way over to it appears to be Aiden Breslin. Have to pick up the ball and walk it to the corner. Breslin without an assist this season. Trying to put his side in front. On the left foot, ball curled in, punched away by the goalkeeper into Shide. Comes back, another shot, deflected, and a handball is called, and we'll have ourselves a penalty kick. Eichhorn, I believe, pleading his innocence here. Of course, a handball rule if it's in a natural position, and regardless, an opportunity here for Casas Tashide trying to keep this game even 0-0. The man to take it, Saul Camacho. He's a perfect 1 of 1 on penalty kicks this year. A little early drama here in the first half. About 12 minutes into this one. A fifth-year man out of Summit, Illinois. On the spot for St. Xavier, trying to put his side in front here in the semifinal. Tashide trying to keep him out. Here it is. Blocked away! went to his right. He guessed the right way and keeps this one 0-0. Camacho denied. Another throw-in and a foul called. And everybody here from the Outdoor Athletic Complex getting behind the boys in white here. Could ask for a better start to this one. It's had a lot of action. Holstein will move this ball forward. Tries to lay it on to Acosta before it's taken away by Aparicio. Lays it out wide at midfield. Pushing forward is Tayamo. Or my apologies. It's Christian Tomeo. Sophomore defenseman out of Orland Park, Illinois. Previously attended Illinois Chicago University. Ball launched forward for Viterbo as Eichhorn trying to play this one forward. A little razzle-dazzle on the far sideline with a back-heeled flick trying to release Acosta, but he cleared out a play and a throw-in for Viterbo. Ever since Jakubas Jankowskis went down, Eichhorn has stepped up and he has been the number one man up front for Viterbo. But boy, it was fun watching Eichhorn, and as this one shot from distance, and Martinez on top of it, but to finish the thought, it was really fun watching those two work in tandem up front in the early part of the season. Of course, Jankowskis, a Lithuanian international, playing for the under-19 national squad. Katsuk back into this one. After going out about the first 3 minutes of the match, and he'll win a ball back. Big Ukrainian in the midfield. And a foul called. Marcelo Puertas taking the fall. As the official, I believe, talking to the Viterbo bench. About 29 minutes left to play here in the first half, 0-0. Kostas Tashide with a massive stop on a penalty kick to keep this game level. As going down here is Aguilera. Trying to kick that ball forward. Foot got a little high and clipped that of a defender. St. Xavier. Ball pass forward. Holstein trying to black out the man on the run. He will. Costas able to get to it. He'll send it out wide. Ball forward here to Alfaro. Back to Torres. He'll try to lay the ball forward to pick out Oliveira. Back in defense, able to clear it out, however, is Diaz. Deflected. Coming our way here. Another throw in here for Mateo Torres. Torres, a Cedar out of Cali, Colombia. Playing in his 19th match this season. He has started 17 now here in 2025. Trying to send Aguilera forward. Perowiet mishandles it. Here's Aguilera waiting for numbers. Tries to lay it forward. And can't, or just able to keep it in from going out of play. And a foul called. Saul Camacho going after that ball. As Camacho remains down. Appears that a card will be dished out here to Torres. Or not, the official marking the spot on which the free kick will be taken here after the foul. Bit of an odd angle here for the Cougars. Ball chipped in, can't find the head of a teammate. Comes back out to Breslin. His pass forward taken away. Alfaro trying to keep it in Viterbo's possession. Ball played forward, now back here to Lagunas. His pass taken away. Ball deflected up in the air on the kick from Torres. Breslin heads it down. Trying to back up the Viterbo defense. Roll out of play. As Lagunas tried to get that one deflect off of Torres and out of play to win a throw-in. Or win a corner in that case. Saying the ball went out of play before the ball was kicked, so it'll be a throw-in here for Viterbo. Torres with the toss. Ball shot from distance, well wide of goal. Try to volley it up and slash that one in. About 24 minutes left to play here in the first half. 0-0 the score. Highlights so far is Costas Tashide in goal, preventing a penalty kick goal. Denying that of Saul Camacho from the spot. Viterbo's had some opportunities, but nothing as good as that penalty kick for the other side. As Torres up the right wing. Tries to lay a ball in. Here's Puertas. Gives it back to Torres outside. Now deflected into the box. Comes down. Turning. Trying to pick out somebody. Ball comes loose off the head of Acosta, but able to win it back. Ball chipped in right across goal. Eichhorn with a save. Once again shown why he is the best in goal. Daniel Martinez with another stellar stop. And that's not easy to deny Joaquin Eichhorn from a spot like that. Torres tosses this one in. Immediately played away by the St. Xavier defense. Be headed out of play. Home crowd getting behind Viterbo's side. They know the stakes. A win puts them into the CCAC conference tournament. Whether it be at Olivet Nazarene or right back here at home. Yet to be decided. Ball chipped in. Martinez comes out for it. Fields it on a hop. Stops the rush of play for the time being. And Eichhorn not able to get out of the way in time. And he'll get a talking to by the official here. May have picked up a card if that was deflected off of him in that case. Since it did not hit him, I believe he'll just get a warning. .22 minutes left to play here in the first half. Bountiful opportunities for either side. The goalkeepers so far are spectacular. Daniel Martinez with 2 great saves, and Costas for Viterbo with a wonderful save himself. Denying a penalty kick. Back at Oliveira. Tries to slide it forward. He goes down. Acosta. Ball left a little short. Chasing after it. This will be out of play. As Viterbo player down for the moment. But a win for Viterbo likely puts them in the NAIA tournament. I would guess as much. Get into the final, finish second in the conference behind a juggernaut Olivet Nazarene side. Could potentially get an at-large bid. When you get back to play here, this is the official talking to a Viterbo player. Kind of fun here this afternoon. Plenty of kids around. They had a junior team of sorts, Pee Wee side, walk out with the players for. There's a small. There is likely rain later today in La Crosse. Possibility of snow as this one dies just outside, or just inside the boundary marker. Tons of snow in North and South Dakota, though. I did see that. Deflected out of play, and Breslin will win the throw-in. Costa talking to his side. First sub on here as Diego Garcia comes on for Christian Tamayo. As Ethan Stewart plays this one, trying to get it to Acosta. Shot deflected, and it'll be out of play, but we have a St. Xavier player down. Acosta already making his way to the corner, and that would be a very deadly spot. Calling upon the trainers now to check on the man. About 19 minutes left to play here in the opening half. Sitting pretty, about the 27th minute. Either side able to get in front. Couple of opportunities for both sides in this one. The kids playing off to our right here just launched a ball into the tree, and they're looking in the ground trying to find it. Heavy brush. It'll be interesting to see if they can get this down. So we have a man down for the time being. I was kind of worried that one of them, kick it off the side of the foot and it hit us up here. So, but they did manage to find another soccer ball, so they're not. In fact, I think they're going to try they're going to try to throw it up and bring it down. Now, if they get the other one stuck, I mean, that is perfect. But Omar Aparicio is up, able to walk off on his own power. Good sight to see. Aparicio playing in his 18th match this season, making his 15th start. Senior out of Chicago, Illinois. He did not appear against Viterbo in their match earlier this season. Corner kick set to be taken here. Sebastian Acosta. And coming off in his place will be Bailey's Zamalitis, sophomore out of Hillsdale, Illinois. Originally Acosta was going to take it, but he'll be called away. Here's how Ronmel Alfaro will take the corner instead. Turbo scored on this same corner on Wednesday, with Ted Holstein being the man with a thunderous header to put it back a goal. As Alfaro on his right foot slides it in, comes down on the header. What a save by Martinez! Reaching to the as far right as he possibly can get. Able to get a finger on it to keep that ball out of goal. Ted Holstein with another thunderous header. But this time he's denied. As he's up and all right. But my goodness. $18 minutes left to play. The best save we've seen here this afternoon from Daniel Martinez. Holstein off the side of his left foot. Recently subbed in for Sebastian Acosta. Prowiet tries to get it to Ketsuk. Ball taken away a little bit over his head. Stout in defense, however. Ball played to Francisco Espinoza. He'll play it back here. Torres with the header. Huertas punches it forward. Eichhorn over his head. Taken away by Breslin. Trying to get to Aguilera. Holstein able to box him out. Cleared away. Alfaro almost able to play that down. Sent out wide. Saul Lagunas lost the ball forward. Perot walked this one into the box, and Costas will collect it. Comes to the feet of Stewart. Trying to hit Garcia on the run up the right side. Ball remains in play as Ketsuk has that one deflected. Last touch by San Xavier, however. Have to retry the throw in here as the ball did not leave the area of play. Aguilera plays this back. Now trying to get it forward here. Tally Hall, ball comes loose to Shide. Right place, right time. Denies Aguilera coming out of goal. 15 minutes left to play here in the match. In the first half of the match, I should say. 0-0 the score, and goalkeepers galore here in this one. A couple incredible saves by Martinez for St. Xavier and Costas for Viterbo. As Paquette Oliveira lays it on. Here's Hamstrom off the side of his left foot and out of play. "14 minutes, 30 seconds left to play here in the first half. Here's Torres. Plays it forward. Torres gets it back from Alfaro. Rides the midfield line all the way back to Peroiet, who will dish it back to Costas. Costas over to Holstein here. Centers it, Peroiet. Or my apologies, Portis. Viterbo goalkeeper. Settles down his crew, tries to play it forward. The offside flag is going to go up, however. A couple of St. Xavier Cougars making the trip up for this one, providing some noise on their visitor half. Tally Houle plays it back. Ball reaches Daniel D. About 12 minutes left to play here in the first half. 0-0 the score between St. Xavier and Viterbo here from the Outdoor Athletic Complex. Semi-final match between these two sides. The second seed and the 3 seed here this afternoon. Viterbo off the heels of their first ever conference tournament victory, trying to push their way to the finals. St. Xavier able to get over the hump, snapping a 6-game quarterfinal losing streak with a win as this ball played over the top. Martinez out for it. Ball remains loose. Paquette Oliveira has this one cleared away by the St. Xavier defense, and will lead to a corner. Now a win away for both sides to make a final. First time in quite a while. Corner to be taken. Alfaro again. Plays it out wide. Chipped up. Puertas tries to send it back in. It'll come down to Martinez, who'll collect it. Think about St. Xavier offensively. Nobody has scored more than one match in a game, or one goal in a match. They've had plenty of, what I mean by that is nobody has scored 2 goals in one match. A lot of people have scored 1, including the last time around, where Lagunas, Vitelli, Hull, Cardiel, and Aparicio all with goals. Sitting on top of that leaderboard is Jaden Aguilera. 9 goals this season in the 2025 campaign. Two sides as even as they can get right now in this one. Ken Oliveira falls on it, able to keep it going Viterbo's way. Out wide to Alfaro, slides it into Oliveira. Ball taken away, foul going to be called as Bailey's Zamalitis grabbed as he tried to break forward with the ball. Here's that Tanner Hall will come on here for Viterbo. In Maury Martinez for St. Xavier. Torres will let this one go out of play. Did not touch it. Swing and a miss. So the two subs will come on here with about 9 minutes left to play in the first half. Both sides looking for a leg up. Both sides with opportunities in this one to go in front. But Daniel Martinez standing on his head, able to deny Joaquin Eichhorn, Ted Holstein. And for Costas Tashide, a goal to keep out Saul Camacho from the penalty kick spot, from the penalty spot. Perhaps looking for a late goal here in the first half. Ball comes down, Aguilera trying to get past Peroiet. Ball chipped away. They'll play it back here. Garcia now cuts in. Ball taken away. Puertas trying to get it out of the shadow of his own goal here. He'll launch it forward. Still in play. Comes down, able to keep it as Lagunas. Dancing on the floor as now he's able to get it away, but ball immediately kicked out of bounds. Hamstrom turns, still pushing forward on the left side. Alfaro, middle part of the pitch, he goes down hard. Official says to play on, it'll be a throw-in from the corner. Give it up to Ethan Stewart to toss this one in deep. Holstein already racing forward. He was denied once from a corner. Throw-in comes in, into the box, batted up in the air, and now a foul is called and against Viterbo. So St. Xavier will win the goal kick here. The Hamstrom dishes it back out wide. Eichhorn. As Lagunas able to beat him to the punch and clear that one out of play. It'll be a throw-in here for Viterbo. Ethan Stewart to do the honors. About 4 minutes and 30 seconds left to play here in the opening half. Tossed in, trying to pick out Eichhorn. Ball cleared away as far back as the Frenchman and Peroiet. Be out of play. In fact, it was last touched by the defender there, Aguilera. Another throw-in, and it'll result in another throw-in. Ball launched in high and out of play. About 4 minutes left to play here in the first half. 0-0, St. Xavier, the 3 seed, on the road after a tantalizing overtime finish against Trinity Christian in the first round. Trying to overcome the road trip, overcome the higher seed, and take home a victory against a side they have never beaten in program history. 2-0-1, or 1-0-1 and 0-2-1 against Viterbo since Viterbo joined the CCAC. Eichhorn lays it forward, trying to hope that somebody running in from behind was there inside the box. Torres has his ball pushed forward and cleared away by Martinez. On the turn, Paquette Oliveira tries to chip it in. It'll be deflected out of play and a corner as it comes off of Aiden Breslin. Paquette Oliveira ready to take it. Try to put his side in front. About 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the half. One corner had a header that was denied. Try it again. Ball comes in. St. Xavier able to clear it away. And a foul will be called here. And a yellow card will be shown to Marcelo Puertas. Ball sent forward and the run already by Aguilera. Got entangled and perhaps a little late tug of the jersey brought him down. Ball sent in, headed back to Costas. He'll collect it. Try a little chip from just about this little dot at midfield. Final minute. We've got another 45 minutes to determine potentially a winner. If not, we'll head to overtime. But at the break, 0-0. The CCAC semifinal match between Viterbo and St. Xavier. We'll be back in about 15 minutes on the V-Hawk Sports Network. Back outside here from the Viterbo Outdoor Athletic Complex. 45 minutes up on the clock as the St. Xavier Cougars, with the number 3 seed on the road, making the trip up to La Crosse, Wisconsin, take on the Viterbo V-Hawk side. So far in this one, neither side separated, all even, 0 apiece. Here, I'm Cooper Lipsky. Welcome you back outside here to the Viterbo Outdoor Athletic Complex here on the V-Hawk Sports Network. CCAC Conference Tournament. Right now in the semifinal, the first match of 2. The only other one later the clock's in about 45 minutes. The next match will begin between Olivet Nazarene and Judson. The number 1 seed taking on the 5 seed there. The winner of that one will, well, if it's Olivet Nazarene, they will host the final. And if Judson were to upset Olivet Nazarene, then Judson would have to make the trip to either St. Xavier or Viterbo next Wednesday. But nothing separating either side here so far through 45. Has in goal Daniel Martinez and Costas Tashide making it 0-0. A couple of great saves on both sides. Daniel Martinez able to keep out Joaquin Highcorn, and then a credulous save to keep out Ted Holstein on a corner. And, not a whole lot of people keep out Ted Holstein when he comes flying into the box on corners like that. And for Costas, a big save for him, a penalty kick save. Came right at him. You guessed right. Went to his right and was able to keep it out of goal. And that's the only thing that's, well, nothing separates either side so far in this one. Taking a look at the team stats. Viterbo leading the way with 7 shots to St. Xavier's 3. Both team, well, 1 shots on goal. Viterbo with 3. St. Xavier with 2. St. Xavier with 3 saves and Viterbo with 2. 3 corners to 1 in favor of Viterbo. Both sides pretty even on cards, and no red cards have been dispersed. 8 fouls to 7. St. Xavier ahead in that statistical category. Other players to note so far, as Joaquin Highcorn with 2 shots, neither of which on goal in this one. Sebastian Acosta with a shot, 1 shot on goal. Ted Holstein with a shot and a shot on goal. That one being that header that was denied. Tanner Hall with a shot, and Andrei Ketsuk with a shot on goal, and then Johan Hamstrom as well. 4 St. Xavier players to note: Saul Lagunas with 1 shot on goal. Saul Camacho with a shot on goal, but he was denied from the spot early on in this one. And then Jaden Aguilera with a shot in this one. Well, that's how it sits right now for either side, as we're just waiting for the officials to make their way out from there. I believe they have a locker room here at the Outdoor Athletic Complex. And we'll be ready to rock and roll here for what should be an entertaining second half from the Outdoor Athletic Complex. Get a little dark out here. Play these games at 1 o'clock. Of course, there's a sun somewhere beyond those clouds, providing enough light. There are no lights here at the Outdoor Athletic Complex, so if this game goes a little bit late, we could have some problems. The only thing that changes is both sides will now be moving in the opposite direction of where they were in the first half. So Viterbo now moving from right to left, and for St. Xavier, left to right. Off and running once again here in the semifinal round between the St. Xavier Cougars and the Viterbo V-Hawks here on the V-Hawk Sports Network. Costas retrieves this one from Perowiet. He'll dish it to the far side. Flick it into Hamstrom. Tries playing it forward, a little light touch. And now turning the other way with it, Espinoza. He'll launch it deep. Holstein there to clear it for the moment. Joaquin Highcorn keeps it, almost able to keep it from marching out of bounds. My apologies, it's Emil Larson. Number 18, able to get his first touch here in this one, coming on here in the second half. As now appears that some rain beginning to fall from the Outdoor Athletic Complex. Ever so lightly. Not that it has really any impact on whether or not this match will continue. It could lead to slipping, perhaps. A spot kick here for Saul Lagunas. On his right foot, tries to curve it in. Didn't have a whole lot of loft on it. Kind of a line drive into the box. Flag stays down, although some Viterbo hands go up, calling for it. Far side, not a good touch there by Yil Diaz. Goes off his foot and out of bounds. He'll have to hustle back. Viterbo in much of the same situation as they were on Wednesday, where they were actually behind at the half. Then it came down to Joaquin Eichhorn with 3 goals in that one. His second career hat trick to put his side even with his first, and then 2 to put him in front, and then 1 to really put it away. The last 2 being from the penalty spot. And once again, St. Xavier looking for a hero late. It's kind of their story in their quarterfinal matchup. They were even at the break, able to draw even with a Jesse Cardiel goal in the 79th minute at 3-3. And then it went to overtime as Aguilera, he's in possession, lays it on here. Shot over the crossbar. Dynamite opportunity for Mark Vitali Houle, but he skies it over the net. First real big attack here in the second half from either side. And that was a great ball from Aguilera to find Vitali Houle. Here's Larson. Slides it forward to Acosta. Try to pick out Eichhorn. He goes down. Win the throw-in. But it was a Jesse Cardiel goal in the 79th minute to keep their season alive. And then Omar Aparicio in the 107th minute in the second overtime to put his side in front. And ultimately lead to the St. Xavier victories, and comes all the way through to Daniel Martinez. Ball poked away, but Garcia able to collect it. Be deflected off of Ketsuk as it lines its way out of play. About 5 minutes gone here in the second half. 0-0 scoreboard still remains stagnant. Aguilera looks to the far side. Able to connect. Now lays it back here. Aparicio drags it wide as it is collected by Costas. Cold, not so windy, cloudy. Now a little rainy here from the outdoor athletic complex. Wonder if this rain will pick up or it'll kind of stay at this light drizzle the rest of the way. Proyet tries to launch it forward. Telling Eichhorn to chase after it. Get close to it, but it'll be cleared out of play. Saul Lagunas thrown by Larson into Eichhorn. Turns on his right. Tries to chip it forward. Great ball headed on and wide by Hamstrom. Best opportunity for Viterbo here in the second half. Already some nails being bit here in the second half. Both sides trying to get a leg up, trying to go a goal ahead. Comes down to simply which goalkeeper will be beat first in this one. It could be very well the way those two have been playing with Costas and Martinez for either side. Could very well lead to the only goal in this match. Xavier able to clear it out of the near corner. Here's Hamstrom. He was a header away from putting his side in front. Ball will be played out of bounds, however. Be thrown on the far side as Christian Tamayo will throw it in. Ball launched forward here. Holstein boxing out his man. Ball remains in play. Aguilera back up to it. He'll try centering it. Able to pick out a Garcia. Jostles it up in the air. Ball comes down, and now looking to run forward with it is Puertas. He'll launch it forward, trying to get it to Eichhorn. Picking it up is Alfaro, but a foul is called in the buildup. And the official, I believe, calling the foul way back. My apologies. Called going forward. Eichhorn upset with the call. Alfaro doesn't like it whatsoever as well. Score remains 0-0 here from the outdoor athletic complex. Laguna's closest man to it. Xavier trying to clear it out from their defensive end. Ball launched forward to Garcia. He'll slide it to the far side here. Headed up by Puertas. Ball comes down. Turbo looking for a moment like they were in possession. Now ball sent forward again. Here's Garcia on the run. Perowiet able to get to it and clear it out. St. Xavier turning it on here about 10 minutes into the second half. Espinoza blocked away by Ketsuk. It results in a corner for St. Xavier. Be only their second corner of the match. As Aguilera over to try to curtail this one in. Ball sent high over everybody. Chasing after it now will be Vitelli Hull. He'll send it back into the box. Cleared away by the Viterbo defense. Eichhorn up in front trying to break forward with it. He's on the run here. He goes down. No foul called. He doesn't like it one bit. Zero here in the 34th minute of the match. Or here with 34 minutes left to play in the match. And if it remains a stalemate here, then they will go to overtime. Place where St. Xavier took care of business in that overtime. Ball sent into the box. Ball remains loose. Turned on, and a great save by Martinez again. Reaching up for it. He has stood on his head here in this contest and has made some very incredible saves. Another one to add to the highlight reel for him in this one. Katsuk looking to break forward. On the right foot of Laguna is able to play it forward. Now, here's Espinoza. Plays it out wide. On the left side, here's Aguilera. Has it taken away now. Racing up the right side, here's Alfaro. Looking for somebody to dish it off to. He goes down, but the defense too strong as Yael Diaz is able to get to it. Punts it away. Torres heads it back to Peroviet. But overtime does have a golden goal scenario in play in the CCAC. Score a goal in overtime, then that will conclude the match. Essentially a walk-off victory. St. Xavier, they play two 10-minute segments in overtime. St. Xavier able to score in the 107th minute, so 3 minutes remaining in that half. As Eichhorn just a step away from getting that one on his foot, rolls all the way through and out. But as the Judson Olivet Nazarene match begins, we'll be sure to give you score updates if anything happens there. And by the time this broadcast concludes, well, you'll have to do the work for yourself then at that point. See who moves on in the next round. Massive collision brings down that of Emma Larson as now the flag goes up. Another big collision here. About 30 minutes left here in the second half. 0-0 the score. It's really the main talk of this match being Daniel Martinez in goal for St. Xavier. He's been the main man doing it all for his side when shots come in. And there have been plenty from the Viterbo attacking front. Martinez set to throw this one in. St. Xavier have also had their opportunities here in the second half. Able to get past his man is Camacho. He'll center a ball in. It's headed away. St. Xavier looking to get back to the final for the first time since 2015. Ball across the face and collected by Costas. Costas' biggest save in this one being from the penalty spot. Able to keep out Saul Camacho. Prowiet sends this one flying. Comes back to Katsuk on the return volley. Here's Acosta. Tries to play this one forward. A last little touch there by the head of Yael Diaz, and it'll accelerate it and skip it right to Martinez, who's able to collect it. Diaz gets it out wide. Ball cleared away by the Viterbo defense. Hamstrom tries moving forward with it. Comes back to Ketsuk, tries to put in some open space. Ball comes loose. Nobody on the run, however, for Viterbo as Diaz for the Cougars. Closest man to will be out, and it'll be a throw-in. Quickly taken. Acosta gets it, and he is stripped of it. Great job there by Daniel Diaz. Able to take that one away. Back into Acosta here. And it'll be taken away once more. Trying to get it forward. Ball deflected. Keeping it is Camacho. He'll slide it forward, trying to get outside here. Able to keep it in bounds as Martinez. He'll be cleared out by Larson. Throw and received by Aguilera, and a foul called against Viterbo. Another big opportunity here for St. Xavier to go up a goal. Jaden Aguilera, fifth-year man out of Belvedere, Illinois, a leading goal scorer on the side. He'll step to it, chips it in low, deflected away, comes right back to him, however. He'll try racing past Larson. He'll chip it in again to the back post, and it's headed away by Perot-Wiet. It'll roll out of bounds. Last touch by Viterbo. We'll have ourselves a new player on the pitch here for St. Xavier. It'll be Americo Castaneda for Saul Camacho. Throwing comes back to Diaz. He'll glide it up in the air, trying to pick out the head, and it's on in! Jaden Aguilera, his 10th goal of the season, and right now, the biggest. The Cougars pounce in front. It's 1-0 with 26 minutes left to play here in the semifinal. Great ball in. An even better finish to put the Cougars in front here on the road. Viterbo looking to respond here. Hamstrom plays it out wide to Larson. He'll try to slide it in. It comes down. How about that for a response? Johan Hamstrom, his 4th goal of the season. Gets us all level once again in the matter of a minute. 1-1. Oh, there'd be some drama here in the semifinal. Got our first goals in the matter of 2 minutes. Jaden Aguilera gets the first one for the Cougars. And then a minute later, Johan Hamstrom equalizes. 1-1. We're all level again. Ball falls to Alfaro. The offside flag is up, however. It hasn't been easy to find the back of goal for either side in this one. In the matter of 2 minutes, we had 2 goals. And once again, it's essentially 0-0 once more. Ball cleared out of play will result in a St. Xavier throw-in. Both sides know what's on the line here in the final 24 minutes of regulation. For one side, it's trying to get back to a place they haven't been in quite some time. And for another, trying to visit a land they've never discovered. About 19 minutes away from the start of the Olivet Nazarene-Judson affair. Winner of that one really decides who has home field advantage in the final. Viterbo, well, both sides rooting for Judson with the upset, meaning both sides would, either side in this one would host, depending on how the result finishes. Sebastian Acosta on the left wing. Feeds it back to Puertas. His pass deflected right back to him. He'll slide it back to Ted Holstein. Holstein out wide to Torres. Torres has this one deflected into the parking lot. It'll be a corner, however, for Viterbo here. Sub comes on. And that'll be Luis Torres Enriquez. Enriquez, no goals this season, has appeared in now his 15th match. Played 8 minutes against Governor State in the midweek. Costa sends one in. Perowiet off of his head and over the crossbar. St. Xavier coming in as one of the hottest teams in the CCAC. Of course, their most recent loss against Olivet Nazarene on October 28th, but before that, they have not lost since September 24th against this Viterbo side at home. Once again, Viterbo trying to play from behind to steal a victory from the Cougars. That's how they did in that first match on September 24th. In fact, there are only 2 losses in conference play, Olivet Nazarene and Viterbo this season. Here's Larson. Lays it forward, trying to pick out Ketsuk. Opportunity to play next Wednesday for a chance at a conference title. Katsuk on the run. Lays it out wide to Eichhorn. Eichhorn barrels into the box. Tries to save him going out of play. He'll be headed away, however, by Diaz. Ball kept in play. Here's Larson. Skies it, and it'll be out of play for a corner. Acosta already on his way over to take this corner. The leading assister on the team. Top 5 in the conference in assists this season. Looking to pick up another. Ball set in, curled in, and headed away by St. Xavier defense on the near post. Now looking to push it forward is Daniel Diaz. His pass forward intercepted. Here's Acosta. A little too much on that ball forward, trying to get it to Eichhorn. Be scooped up by Martinez. Rain beginning to fall once again here. Ball sent skyward. 20 minutes remain here as Eichhorn. Joaquin Eichhorn. Eichhorn continues until he's cut off by Diego Garcia. He'll be played out of bounds. Throw in here for Ketsuk. He'll get it into Larson. Larson set up the goal to Johan Hamstrom to draw even in this one. Rain begins to fall a little harder here. Ball comes Eichhorn, tries to turn and fire. It's deflected. Ball shot forward Aguilera. Heads it to the far side. Collected by Daniel Diaz. Tries pushing forward. He's cut off, however. Couple of subs set to check on for St. Xavier. Goal in the 64th and 65th minute. Did not take long for Viterbo to answer. Pass forward. As here's Hamstrom again, trying to barrel his way into the box. It's cleared out defensively. Be a throw in here for Viterbo. Ketsuk. "15 minutes remain here in regulation time." As it sits, somebody's going to need to get lucky once more. Try to pull their side in front. Who will the hero be in this one? One to one the score, 15 minutes left to play. Jaden Aguilera goal in the 64th minute was immediately countered by a Viterbo goal a minute later by Johan Hamstrom. Pass out wide to Larson. He dished it right back to him, and he put it in the back of goal. Ball headed up in the air. Comes down to Acosta. Hamstrom back to Acosta. They try to move that ball forward. Foul called back at the spot of the kick. 13 minutes left. Since the goals have been scored, it's back to what much of the first half was. Both teams looking to control possession. Neither side has done an adequate job. Throw-ins, ball played long, cleared out of play. Another throw-in. So Costa will take the free kick here. Ball launched in. Shot turned on by Peroiet, and Martinez collects it. Trying to get this ball forward. He looked like he may have got off the side of his foot. Be dispatched, however, by Daniel Diaz. Torres Enriquez, good slide. As Rodrigo Hernandez, ball taken away. Turbo pressing forward. Offside flag goes up against Joaquin Eichhorn. By mere inches, of course, the rain falling, so we put on the safety tarp. So everything looks blue right now, but we'll get it, don't worry. There it is. See, got to protect the cords, right? Ball comes forward. Ketsuk able to keep it in from going out of bounds. Eichhorn trying to turn. But Diego Garcia in defense has been tough against him. Larson tosses it in quickly to Acosta. Gets it out wide back to him. Tries a ball forward to Eichhorn. Eichhorn defended by Daniel Diaz, and this one sent out of play. A result in a goal kick here for Martinez. 10 minutes left to play here from the outdoor athletic complex. It will not end in a draw. Somebody leaves here victorious. Saul Camacho back on for Eduardo Perez. Sebastian Ortiz on for Luis Torres Enriquez. Most recent sub spot. Final 10 minutes of the match. Both sides playing for their proverbial lives here. Ball sent skyward. Peroiet dominant on the back line defensively. But a wet semifinal match here. Wet, cold, not too windy. As both sides even here with 8 minutes left to play in the first 90 minutes. Reaching crunch time now for both sides. Looking for something, a sign of life here late in this one. Ball comes all the way through to Custis. Here's Larson. Inward pass to Ketsuk. Ball laid forward for him. Cleared away, however. Defense by Diego Garcia. He's on the run here. Sebastian Ortiz. This one goes out of play. A little kid. I had able to play that one over to Danny Martinez. How about that? Right place, right time for the young man. Martinez to boot this one away. Final 7 minutes here in regulation. Ball chested down. Shot forward here. Ortiz, closest man to it for Viterbo. Tough in defense, however. Is that of Daniel Diaz. Plays it away for a moment. No foul called for the moment. Now it is called. Prime opportunity here. A good spot for a free kick. Sebastian Acosta stands over this one. Ties his cleat. Asking for a V-Hawk to rise to the occasion. Potentially be the hero in this one. Costa's ball in, comes down, massive collision, brings down Martinez. He'll take his time to get up. It was a thunderous collision in the air. Putting bodies on the line here to try to keep this one at 1-1. Much like the quarterfinal match for St. Xavier. Tied with 5 minutes left to play. Took a goal from Omar Aparicio. And the 107th minute to win it. Golden goal for him in that one. Eichhorn still trying to boot his way forward. He's taken down. No foul, however. Daniel Diaz once again stopping the flow of play defensively. Him on that back line. A monumental task of handling, along with Diego Garcia, of handling Joaquin Eichhorn and company, and they have done a phenomenal job in this one. Ball launched forward by Hamstrom. Eichhorn chasing after it. He can't get to it. Looks like for the moment he was almost able to get to it, and he's able to play this one out for a St. Xavier throw-in. Goalkeeper Costas calling out what he wants is now. Here's Ortiz. Lays it back to Acosta. Tries to get it to Hamstrom. Already a goal in this one for him. Able to clear it back to Perowiet. 5 minutes remain. Andriy Ketsuk, Ukrainian. He'll march in with it. Over to Puertas. Tries to slide it forward. Not on the same page as Martinez comes out of goal. Slides in and collects it. Sebastian Ortiz on the late run. Rain still falling here from the OAC here in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Side of the semifinal. Two teams as evenly matched as you can get. 2 in the 3 seed in the tournament. Ball out of play. It'll be a throw in here for Viterbo. Taken quickly. Another ball in play, however. And they'll have to hold it up. Appears to be one more sub waiting in the wing for Viterbo. Larson sent to throw this one in. Gets a ball in, trying to pick out Ortiz. Prohiet. Back to Portis. The twilight minutes of this match. 3.5 minutes left to play. Eichhorn able to keep it in possession of Viterbo. They play it back to Holstein. Looking for Eichhorn. Ball in. Here's Acosta. Flicks with the head. St. Xavier able to clear it back. Here's Larson. Ball comes in again. Headed away this time by Christian Tamayo. Another ball set in. Shot off the foot of Hamstrom. Can't quite turn it goal side, however. 2 minutes and 30 seconds remain. Here's Ortiz. Fires one from distance. Right into the gloves of Daniel Martinez. Larson punches it forward. Regardless, Eichhorn taking his time to mosey back on sides. Pecan Oliveira. Slides it back and then tries to get it forward. Here's Torres on the run. Bringing it out wide. He'll chip it in. Head it on. Taken out by Garcia. 2 minutes here left to play in regulation. As a St. Xavier player goes down here with 1:36. Viterbo has been in a situation like this before. Holy Cross earlier this season here at home, a late header by Joaquin Eichhorn to win it over the Saints. And St. Xavier as well being in a situation like this, most recently in a quarterfinal bout against Trinity Christian back on Wednesday. Sebastian Ortiz getting a little talk from somebody on the near sideline. Johan Hamstrom went down for a moment, so the trainers come on to get him. Already underway from the Olivet Nazarene match against Judson. First minutes played down in Bourbonnais, Illinois. 0-0 that one, but as we said, we'll give you as much as we can regarding scores, if they happen, when they happen, here on this broadcast. Ball headed back to Garcia, tries to lay it out wide. 1:25 left to play. Potentially one final build-up here for the St. Xavier side. Into the box, centers it. Ball loose, cleared away. Ball sent back into the mix by Diaz. One minute left to play here in regulation. Espinoza tries to chip it forward. Ball be turned out of play. It'll be a throw-in for Viterbo. Final 45 seconds. Rain continues to fall here from the OAC. And we might have ourselves overtime. 30 seconds left. Played all the way back here to Martinez. He'll sky it to run some time off the clock. "20 seconds now. Perhaps one final push by Viterbo. 10 seconds. Ball goes to Eichhorn on the far side. And he goes down grabbing his hamstring, and that is not a good look. As the final whistle sounds of regulation, will go to overtime. St. Xavier, when they goal in the 64th minute by their leading goal scorer, Jaden Aguilera on a header, was then matched a minute later by Johan Hamstrom. Make it 1-1. And just like Wednesday for St. Xavier, we go to overtime. As for Viterbo, a bit of uncharted grounds here. About 5 minutes until we are back to play. We'll keep it here. We don't want the computer to be too exposed, so I'll just keep talking. But 0-0 right now. Judson and Olivet Nazarene. About 5 minutes gone in the opening half there. Either side able to find the back of the goal so far. Olivet Nazarene with a big victory over the 8th seed in St. Ambrose. And Judson with a underdog victory, an upset over Holy Cross, as they are the 5 seed. They will have to play on the road regardless. If they do upset Olivet Nazarene, and whoever wins here, then Judson will be on the road against either St. Xavier or Viterbo on Wednesday. If Olivet Nazarene wins, then whatever side in this one comes out on top will have to make the trip down to Illinois, or in St. Xavier's, I think it's a little bit further south there in Olivet Nazarene plays. Fans making their ways to the bathrooms here. But overtime here for St. Xavier. Took a goal from Omar Aparicio in the 107th minute to advance. The final kick of the game to win it. Golden goal scenario. Whoever scores first will be the only goal scored here in overtime in the CCAC tournament. In fact, it was the only overtime matchup to take place in the quarterfinal round. We got 2 minutes until we are back to action here from the Viterbo Outdoor Athletic Complex. The Viterbo faithful, and what has been a historic season for the Viterbo side, not only making this far in the CCAC tournament, it's also their highest finish in the standings, finishing second behind Olivet Nazarene. For head coach Roberto Yepes, the most wins he's had in a season in his 3 years at Viterbo, including that most recent win, booting it up to 10 wins this season overall. And talk about the history, especially for St. Xavier under Ed Vucinic. Who has made it this far quite a few times in his tenure as head coach of the St. Xavier side, but able to get the monkey off their back. Last semifinal appearance in 2018, they did fall in that one. And then it led to 6 straight quarterfinal losses. They have not missed the CCA tournament since the 2000s. I believe it was 2006. Now looking to take one step forward, go back to the final for the first time since 2015. Have not won a conference tournament final since 2011, in which they came off of a season where they won in two. Xavier looking for a victory on the road as Viterbo looks to earn what they believe is their rightful spot in the conference tournament final as the 2 seed, to be one of the best 2 in the conference. 10 minutes on the clock, and we are underway. The first overtime. If there is a goal scored, then there will not be a second overtime here in the first 10 minutes. And if there is no scoring in the 20 minutes in total, we go to penalty kicks to decide a victor. Ball played forward, and Perouillet able to return it back to this St. Xavier defense. You can tell Joaquin Eichhorn up front a little bit, laboring a little bit up front. I'd have to rely on someone else to get that goal for him. Ball comes down to Ketsuk, but a high elbow, it appears, struck him, and a foul called. Larson on the far left wing. Gets it all the way back to Costas. Costas comes out to collect it. We have a man down for Viterbo at midfield, and they're going to call upon the trainers right away. It being a blow to the head. Still no score from Olivet Nazarene and Judson. Still 0-0. 37 minutes left to play in the first half. Much the same in that one. If that one were to go overtime, play 2 10-minute halves. But both sides worn down at this point, as even as you can get in a match like this. As Alvaro Piquet Oliveira, he'll have to make his way off, however. Johan Hamstrom will return. And I apologize. I was told that's how you pronounce that last name. It's Tashide. Give you a little slip of paper with all the pronunciations on it, and I read what it says. About 8 minutes left here in the first overtime period. Standing for much of the second half. I don't think we can sit down anymore. Free kick to be taken here, way back behind midfield line, going forward for St. Xavier. As big as a crowd as we've seen all season here at the OAC for a match as monumental as this one for the Viterbo side. Ball's launched forward, headed up in the air. St. Xavier still trying to keep it going their way. Eduardo Perez with a touch. Foul called. Seven minutes and 30 seconds left to play here in the first overtime period. Ball try to reach across the pitch there. As Holstein with a header. Aguilera, goal scorer already in this one, trying to get past Ted Holstein. But always an indomitable force in the back line for the Viterbo defense. Able to play it out wide. St. Xavier looking for another winner in overtime. Ball launched in, headed away by Torres. Comes back down here to Tamayo. Puertas tries to get it forward here to Eichhorn. Eichhorn trying to win it. He comes hobbling again. Immediately calls to his bench. Tried to play this half on that left leg. Knowing how much it means to him and his side. A physical match such as this one. You hate to see a man of his caliber being helped off by trainers, or alongside trainers in this instance. So Luis Torres Enriquez will make his way back onto the pitch, having some big shoes to fill here. Both sides dug in, trying to get themselves in front and on to the final. Martinez set to kick this one away. He'll play it short here. Dishing out to Yael Diaz. He'll rocket it forward, headed away by Ketsuk. Comes down to Puertas. Now trying to keep it going St. Xavier's way. Aguilera to the far side. Plays it back to Aparicio. He mentioned the goal scorer in the 107th minute to get St. Xavier the quarterfinal win. This one's sent in. Headed away. And a whiff on the shot attempt by Tamayo. St. Xavier still remain in possession, however. Aguilera. Here's Puertas. Dishes it out wide. Larson on the run. He comes down with it. Slots it forward here to Alfaro. Can he get to it? Not quite in defense. Daniel Diaz, as we said, stout from the very start of this match defensively. Gets it forward to Francisco Espinoza. Looks in the midfield. Vitelli Houle tries to get it out wide, but the flag is up on the run of Jaden Aguilera. Tell both sides have withered down to the state they're in now. A lot of hands on knees when that ball is out of bounds and whatnot. On both sides. Costa with a little flick to keep it into Hamstrom. The goal scorer in this one lays it forward towards Enriquez. Can he center it? He'll try. And almost a wonderful touch by Ronmel Alfaro to try to direct that one in. Daniel Martinez there, almost able to snuff it out. I believe Alfaro had the last touch. As Acosta will make his way off, Piquet Oliveira returns back into the fray. 4 minutes left to play here in the first overtime period. Emma Larson on the far side, able to get to it. Prowiet tries to get it out of the box, and it'll be out of play on the far side. It'll be a throw-in for the Cougars. Rain, a continuous stream here. It's about the 70th minute of the second half. Now Hamstrom tries to slot it forward. Comes down. Here's Paquette Oliveira. Here's Torres now. Breaking forward with it. Slips it back to Puertas. Ball taken away. Aparicio. A little bit further back as this one's sent out of play on the near sideline. Torres to toss this one in. Tries to release Paquette Oliveira. He goes down. Tangle of the feet. Result in a free kick here for Viterbo. 2 minutes left here in the first overtime period. Opportunity for Viterbo to win it right here. It's a good ball in and able to get past Daniel Martinez. Ball played in. Back post deflected by Martinez. Big collision with Ted Holstein by the back post. It'll result in a corner. Paquette Oliveira on his way over to take it. A minute 50 remains here in the first overtime period. Ball lifted in. Headed up in the air and turned away. There'll be a throw in here for Viterbo with a minute 25. 1-1. Consecutive goals in back-to-back minutes in the second half, the 64th and the 65th. One from St. Xavier's Jaden Aguilera, and the other from Viterbo's Johan Hamstrom. Ball comes into the box, cleared out by St. Xavier. Torres from distance spins this one well wide. The only thing that changes in the second overtime period is that they flip the pitch. So Viterbo will be attacking into where they're currently defending and vice versa for St. Xavier. Johan Hamstrom trying to play this one down. Gets it back to Larson. And a great slide tackle by Rodrigo Hernandez. Almost able to win it. 20 seconds left now. Andriy Ketsuk. Aguilera in his open space up the right side. Final chance here. Final 5 seconds. Result in a throw-in, and we won't have it. Another 10 minutes to play to decide a victor in this one. If not, it's on to penalty kicks. And then it's on to the final. But an opportunity. Really, the only goal-scoring opportunity in that second half for Viterbo came off a free kick from Paquette Oliveira to the back post, and a collision and a great save by Daniel Martinez once again, putting his body on the line, getting his hand on the ball to clear it away from the back post with Ted Holstein bearing down on him. Both sides asking who wants to be the hero here this afternoon from a cold and wet Viterbo Outdoor Athletic Complex. The 3-seeded St. Xavier Cougars trying to get back to the final for the first time since 2015. Viterbo trying to make it for the first time since joining the conference in 2023. Rain coming down a little bit harder here. Fans have stuck it out. The Viterbo faithful as well as the St. Xavier fans making the trip up to watch a match that has had it all here. By the end of the day, you'll say it's a shame that one of these teams had to lose. Another 10 minutes to potentially decide this one. And if after that, a best of 5 in the penalty kicks. And then if it's still tied at the end of 5, then they continue. My years of playing FIFA has not failed me, I don't think, up to this point. No. The home fans wanting a goal to seal their spot in the final. No score from Judson and Olivet Nazarene. About 18 minutes left to play in the first half. It's all square even, 0-0. It's 1-1 here with 10 minutes left to play in overtime. I took a spectacular header from Jaden Aguilera to put St. Xavier in front. Then right off of the restart, it was Johan Hamstrom who took it himself with the help of Emil Larson to draw it back even 1-1, and the two have been inseparable. But a free kick here for St. Xavier. Ball set in by Daniel Diaz into the box, headed up in the air. Now the rain really beginning to fall from the OAC here in La Crosse. Pressing forward, trying to feed it in front to Sebastian Ortiz. Ortiz scored the winning goal against St. Xavier in the regular season. 78th minute of that match for a 2-1 victory. The offside flag goes up against Viterbo. But as it sits, 1-1. St. Xavier looking to defeat Viterbo, something they have never done. 5 matches prior, 3 losses and a pair of draws. Since they first played all the way back in the 1990s. Daniel Diaz slots this one forward. Headed away by Holstein. Paquette Oliveira, the closest man to it. They'll continue to try to move this ball forward. St. Xavier in control here. Begin the second half of overtime. Able to turn. Big stop defense. Ball won back to Viterbo. 7 minutes left to play. And then very much as it's been all game long, it'll come down to the goaltenders. if neither side can get in front here in the final 6 minutes. Almost a flick forward to release Ronmel Alfaro. Another ball sent back here is Diaz, Yael Diaz. Ball chipped to the near sideline. Larson to it. Already 1 assist in this one. Can he get a second? Ball remains up in the air. Hamstrom flexes down and a foul called. Six minutes remain. A 1-1 match. Penalty kicks looming. Unless one side can get the winner. Ball rolls out of play. Larson immediately tosses it in. Getting it to Sebastian Ortiz. Tries working around his defender. Another throw in, 1. Ball sent in to the box. Tries to turn it on. Alfaro, can he center it? It's Hamstrom! It's over! The final beckons of a Viterbo name. And for the first time since joining the CCAC in 2023, Viterbo has a chance for a title. Like the rain that falls here this afternoon, soak it all in, Viterbo fans. An amazing match here this afternoon. St. Xavier, I mean, what can you say about that side? I mean, my goodness, Daniel Martinez, some of the best saves we've seen here at the OAC all season long. And in the end, it's the junior from Stockholm, Sweden. 2 goals in this one. 1 to tie it, and then the 1 to win it in the second overtime. With 10 minutes left to play in the first half from Olivet Nazarene. Still 0-0 between Judson. And they'll dance now here on the pitch of the OAC. A 2-1 victory for Viterbo. Another come-from-behind victory here in the CCAC tournament. And they punch their ticket to the conference final. So I'd say I think we've stood in the rain long enough. I think we ought to wrap it up. But 2-1 the final. Viterbo advances to the CCAC Conference Tournament Final. They'll play next Wednesday. If Judson wins, it'll be right back here at home. But if Olivet Nazarene wins, they make the trip down to Illinois. So that being said, for our incredible crew sticking through the weather, I'm Kuberlipski saying good night, so long, and we hope to see you again sometime soon, potentially on Wednesday, here on the V-Hawk Sports Network.